In this video, I'm just going to give you a little orientation of how you begin to put content into a lesson in Classflow. So getting just a little bit of the lay of the land once you've logged into Classflow. So I'm logged in, so in the upper right hand corner you see my initials, and if I wanted to create a lesson, I am going to click on my resources. Keep in mind you have the option of doing some organization with folders and subfolders. You can see that in my resources, if I click on this triangle, I can expand that menu and I have a bunch of folders, and within each of the folders I have some subfolders. So if you have some organization, then you might want to click on the folder to go into it before you actually begin your lesson. So I'm in my biology folder, which you can see if you look at the breadcrumbs right here. And if I wanted to create a lesson, I'm going to click on New, and I'm going to choose Lesson. So I'm in editing mode in this lesson builder, and I have to give this a title. So we are going to call this lesson Types of Cells. All right, and I'm going to click Save. So this is how it looks like if you have no cards. You get to start with just a generic blank card. And let's just look at some of these tools and talk a little bit about how they are similar or different from Inspire. And I'm not going to actually go through every single one of them because those will come later on in more advanced lessons. So what do we got here? If I wanted to put text on my page, I would go up to the text tool. And that's going to give you a text box. It has really itty bitty text in there, but I can just type in types of cells. Now, if I wanted to center that in my text box, I could do this. If I wanted to change the size of my text, I could highlight my text, and I have an extra drop-down menu for text formatting. So if I want to make that nice and big, I could do that. I could make it, the biggest I could make it is 96 point. I could make it bold. You have the ability to change color, or background color. In this case, I'm just going to make it an orange color. If you don't want it to text wrap like that, then you hover over your text box and you stretch your text box. Okay, so if I wanted to wrap, I make it thin. If I want it to be on one line, I drag and open up my text box a little bit. If you want to move around a text box, you need to hover over your text box till you see that crosshair. You see that? Then I can click and I can move my text box anywhere on my canvas. So there is an equation editor. That's just an FYI in your formatting toolbar, and that's something that you just have to get used to if you're a math teacher. We could do a separate lesson on that some other time. All right, what else? What other content can I put on my page? Let's just go straight up with the images. If I was to add an image to my page, I am going to click on the Insert menu. So I click Insert in the upper left-hand corner. So if you look at what is in my Insert menu or in my resources, I already have some images that I've uploaded. So you can put images into your resource folder. You can change the name so they're easily searchable. So if I wanted to add an image that's already there, I could single click on this image, File, and I click on Insert, and it's going to go right in my page, and then I can click on it and grab the lower right hand corner. There's a little bullet there. I get that diagonal text tool, and I can resize that image, and then I can click and I can move that around on the page. Another way that I can get an image in there is by uploading one. So if I've gone to Google and I've saved one to my desktop, I could upload a new image, and I got to go to my desktop and I have to find one here. Okay, here is an image of softball logo. So if I wanted to put that on my page, I could click on the Open button, and then that's going to upload to my resources folder, and then it's going to splash. If I close this, it's going to splash at the very top. If I select it, I can insert it on my page. So you can upload an image as well. If I do that, that image remains in my resources in Classflow. I could add it to another page. Now, lastly, to get an image in there, I could click on my Insert menu, and you can search Bing images You know, so if I wanted to put an animal cell in there, and I've chosen Bing Images from my drop-down menu, I can press return, and you can get little, thumbnails here, and you can kind of pick out if you think it's good or not, but sometimes it isn't good, so sometimes you have to pick and choose, and you have to try a second time. But I'm going to try to insert this one. That actually is not bad. So, but if you don't like what you get, or you have to resize it, which is totally fine, you can do that, but you don't always have to upload your images. You can find images by using that search from Bing Images. So those are our two basic types of content. I am going to go down and add another page, or card. If we're in Classflow, it's called page when you're in Inspire. The other thing is I wanted you to know that if you click down here, you can see the student cards. So that gives you both the student cards and the teacher cards. And right now I'm just adding teacher cards. But on the second page, I want to just talk about the shapes. If I single click on a shape, I can pick one of them. So let's say in this case I wanted the speech bubble. That is just going to splatter it right there on your screen. And so once it's on your screen, you have this formatting menu. And so if I wanted to fill it with a different color, I could click on that icon and I could fill it with yellow. If I wanted a border color, or maybe I don't want any border at all, I could choose to change my border color. You could do thickness of your lines. You could also do translucency or opacity, if you wanted a little bit see-through. And then once you've changed your properties of that shape, you can resize it, and then you can move it around on the page. So again, to add a shape, you pull down menu here, you choose your shape, and let's do an arrow this time. And that's interesting because I don't see the arrow. Maybe I have too much opacity. No. Let me try that again. I'm going to delete that. And let's say that I want a double-headed arrow. I bet it's white. Aha, look it. Let's see, let's make sure oh, there we go. The border color. The last time I had added a shape, I had a border color that I had removed, and I guess for the arrows, you only have a border color. You don't have a fill color. So let me go change the thickness of that so I can make that as thick as I want to, and then I could stretch it and I could move it around on my page. A couple other things that I wanted to point out is that you have a clear menu like you did in Inspire. So if you wanted to clear just your annotations, those would be things that you put on the page with the pen tool, which is right here, pen or highlighter. You could clear your annotations, you could clear just your shapes, you could clear just your text boxes, or you could clear everything on your page. So those are your options for removing content from the page. You have an eraser tool that you can explore, and you also have page notes. So definitely put reminders to yourself or to your colleagues if you share your content with other individuals. Use the page notes. Okay, that is the lay of the land and how you add basic content such as text, images, shapes, and annotations to your page.